Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into one of the most exciting topics in football, the next generation of talent. Our mission here is to really explore the specific attributes, the early achievements of the most promising U18 players coming out of Premier League clubs. This is all based on a special report we've got. Now, the Premier League, it's famously a crucible, isn't it? A real breeding ground for future stars. But beyond just raw talent, what truly sets these young athletes apart? What are we really looking for?
Yeah, I think what we're trying to do is spot those underlying patterns of potential. It's not just about listing skills, it's understanding the different roles these kids are being developed for, and crucially, why those specific qualities make them prospects for the future. It's about connecting sort of their unique qualities to how the game itself is evolving tactically.
That's exactly the kind of insight we need. The depth of talent across the league is just, it's credible. So let's dive straight into some specific examples. Maybe start with one of the biggest clubs out there, Manchester United. Okay, so first up for United, we have Chido, young Danish striker. The report says he has a clinical eye for goal. Already made his senior debut, featured quite a bit in preseason. But for a U18 player, what does that clinical eye actually mean, beyond just, scoring goals?
Well, for someone so young, it's not just the goals themselves, it's the efficiency, I think, and the variety of his finishing. A consistently clinical eye at this age. It often points to really advanced decision-making under pressure, knowing when to shoot, where to place it, maybe even more important, how to create that little bit of space in crowded penalty areas. It's a sign of a player who's thinking maybe a couple of steps ahead in the box, and that's often a much better predictor of senior success than just, say, raw power or pace.
All right, thinking it. Okay. Over at Arsenal, we're looking at Max Dowman. He's described as an intelligent attacking midfielder, already been promoted to Arsenal's first team. And apparently, he really stood out in a friendly against Newcastle. The report highlights his ability to break lines. Can you unpack that for us? Why is that specific skill so critical these days?
Absolutely. Breaking lines is, well, it's essentially about bypassing layers of the opponent's defense. Could be with a pinpoint pass that just cuts out two midfielders, or maybe a dribble that takes him past a defender straight into space. It's really the difference between, safe sideways passing and genuinely penetrative play. For a midfielder, mastering this means they're not just moving the ball around. They're actively dismantling the other team's defensive shape, creating direct paths to goal. It's pretty much non-negotiable for top attacking teams now.
Penetrative play. Got it. Okay, from North London down to Merseyside. Liverpool has Rion Gumoha. He made history, didn't he? Liverpool's youngest ever FA Cup starter. And the report says he continues to impress with flair and creativity. Even got a preseason goal against Yokohama FM. Now, early first-team exposure like this, it always makes headlines. But how do we balance that excitement of flair with, actual tangible output?
Yeah, it's crucial to see that balance, that early exposure. It signals a high level of trust from the club, accelerated development, but that preseason goal against a senior team, no less, shows he's not just exciting to watch, he's effective. When you see flair combined with end product at that level, it really demonstrates an ability to execute under pressure. It tells us he's more than just like highlights reel waiting to happen. He's a player who can genuinely influence the score.
Right, effective flair. Okay. Down in West London, Chelsea brings us Landon Emenalo. He's described as a left-footed defensive midfielder, calm on the ball and versatile. Already included in Chelsea's European squad, and apparently he can also play in defense. In a team like Chelsea, what does that mix of composure and versatility actually mean for a young player in such a key position?
Well, I think what's fascinating here is the premium they clearly place on composure, especially in that crucial defensive midfield role. Decisions there can dictate the entire rhythm of the game. Then you add in the versatility to cover defensive positions, and suddenly you have a player who offers immense tactical flexibility. It's not just about filling a gap if someone's injured, it's about providing a stable base for the whole team. It lets the coach make tactical shifts without totally disrupting the team's balance. That's incredibly valuable for a top club.
Tactical flexibility, yeah, makes sense. Okay, moving to the reigning champions, Manchester City. We find Stephen Mifuni, profiled as a physically dominant center back, but also with composure and strong passing. Nico. He's even part of City's U.S. preseason tour. How do those attributes connect to the unique demands on center backs in City's system, that possession-based style?
Right. For a player like Mifuni in City's setup, physical dominance isn't just about, crunching tackles. It's more about intelligent positioning, winning duels before they become a big problem, combined with the strength and crucially, the composure to hold off high presses while distributing the ball accurately. It's a very specific kind of athleticism and technical skill they need, especially for a team that builds attacks right from the back. You basically need a defender who can start attacks almost as well as they stop them.
Initiating attacks from the back. Okay, staying in London, Tottenham Hotspur features Junai Byfield. And get this, he's just 16 years old, already integrated into the first team's Asia Tour. He's being described as a modern defender, powerful, technical, and comfortable under pressure. 16 is incredibly young for that level of exposure. What does that tell us about his mentality? And what does modern defender really mean at his age?
Yeah, 16 is remarkable. What defines a modern defender at that age, as you say, is that incredible blend. It's physical presence, yes, but also high technical proficiency. And then, layered on top, that psychological maturity, being genuinely comfortable under pressure. It's not just about raw talent. It's about decision-making when things get tough, reading the game quickly, and having a level of composure that suggests, honestly, exceptional mental fortitude for his age, that intangible quality, often overlooked, but absolutely crucial for top-level performance, especially when you're that young.
Mental fortitude at 16. Wow. Okay, over in the Midlands, Aston Villa has Bradley Burrows, described as quick and two-footed, allows him to play on either wing or up front. He was even on the bench for Villa's FA Cup win over West Ham, known for his explosiveness.
Yeah.
What tactical advantages does a player like that, so dynamic and adaptable, bring to a squad?
Oh, the advantages are significant. His two-footedness and the ability to play right across the front line. It means he can adapt to different formations easily. He can exploit various defensive weaknesses depending on the opponent, and it gives the coaches multiple options, even mid-game. It just makes him incredibly unpredictable for defenders. He's a genuine threat from multiple positions. You can't easily pigeonhole him, which is, a huge asset for Villa.
Hard to pigeonhole, right? Crystal Palace has Ben Casey. He was Palace's U18 top scorer last season. Described as a smart forward who times his runs well and rarely misses a match. Expected to move to the U21 soon. Scoring goals is obviously key, but what about that consistency? Being available, the tactical intelligence of timing runs well. What does that signify for his progression?
That's a really important point, the importance of consistent availability and that tactical intelligence. You really can't overstate it for a young striker. It's one thing to score goals, maybe in bursts, but to do it consistently while showing smart movement. Knowing exactly when to make that run or when to drop deep to link play and staying fit enough to do it week after week, that really is a hallmark of a player who's truly ready for the next step up. It shows a professional mindset that goes beyond just raw scoring ability.
Professional mindset. Okay. Fulham found a gem in Seth Ridgen, it seems. He actually turned down top clubs to commit to Fulham. Identified as a box-to-box midfielder with U21 experience already. Brings energy and drive. And why would a player at this stage make that strategic choice? Prioritizing Fulham over maybe bigger names. And what's the value of that high-energy midfielder type?
Well, that decision to prioritize playing time and what seems like a clear development path over maybe a bigger club name, it speaks volumes. It shows a real focus on long-term growth, I think. Often means the player and his advisors trust the club's plan for him and the value of a high-energy box-to-box midfielder like Ridgen. It cements in today's game. They impact both phases of play, cover huge amounts of ground, win crucial duels, help start attacks. They really are the engine room for any team.
The engine room. Good term.
Yeah.
West Ham United has Emeka Adili, a fast, adaptable left-sided defender who contributes at both ends. Get this. 8 goal contributions for West Ham's youth sides last term. 8 from a defender. That's quite a stat at youth level. What does that tell us about how the role of defenders is changing?
Yeah, 8 is significant. It really highlights the increasing role of attacking fullbacks or wingbacks in the modern game. It's no longer just about defending your flank, is it? They're expected to be key attacking outlets, provide width, overlap, and contribute directly with goals and assists. 8 goal contributions for a defender, even at youth level, is a strong indicator of his offensive impact. Shows he has the vision and the execution to turn defensive positions into real attacking threats.
Okay, yeah, the attacking fullback.